Okay, I'm gonna try to do a quick video to show you how I pack eggs. I've never had any issues with anybody ever getting broken eggs or anything, and they've always really been happy with how they get them. The only time they were ever broken was a lady in Texas. I think her mailman hated her because her box was literally crushed to the point where they took her broken eggs out and put them in a different box and said that the box got smashed. Sorry about my kittens, if you hear them. Anyways, everybody has commented on how great the packaging was and how their eggs were in perfect condition and everything else. So I'll just try to do a quick video here. I wrap each individual egg in this really thin foam stuff. It comes on furniture and desks and things when you buy them, and you have to put them together. This is like in between the wood pieces. I'm able to get big boxes of this at my local outlet for office. It's an office outlet store. They sell for $5, like a really big box of this and these things and bubble wrap, which I use all of it in packing eggs, and it costs me very little for packaging. So I take the egg and I literally just roll it up in this, and sometimes I take a little piece of tape and just tape it, just so the egg has a little extra cushion. I make sure I remember which side is pointy side, and I put it pointy side down into the carton. And the packaging is thin enough that the lid still closes. Now I will tell you, if you can't get this thin packaging, you could also use a cheap old coffee filter. And you can wrap it in the coffee filter as well. Just remember which side is down. Sometimes I put a little mark on the egg with a marker so that way I can see it through the paper in case I get confused. But you always want to make sure you put them pointy side down. And I put them in the cartons like that. Now let's just pretend this is full, because I'm not going to sit here and wrap a whole dozen of eggs. I don't have any to send right now. But I like to use the cartons that are this material, but I've used both, this and the styrofoam. They both work. These just seem a little more durable. And I do try to get the large ones. I don't get like smaller, medium ones. I try to use ones that are for large or jumbo eggs because it gives you extra room for the packaging. And if I use the jumbo ones or the super jumbo ones, I can even fit turkey eggs in them wrapped like this. So once it's all in the carton and your lid is closed, then I take the carton and I wrap it in bubbles, like the little tiny bubbles. This one just happens to be in a bag form, but I take this and I roll it up, and then I will make sure that you have it the right way so they're pointy side down. Sometimes I mark the top with marker, this side up, so that if it's wrapped, because a lot of times I will take several pieces of the bubble wrap and I'll wrap it again so that it's really cushioned. Okay? Make sure that you keep them right side up, pointy side down. And then personally I use these boxes for shipping. I always ship priority. And it is the large mailing box. I'm not sure if that's going to come up backwards or not. It's the large mailing box. They're 12 inches across and 12 inches across, and they're 8 inches tall because you fold the lid down, so it's 8 inches tall. So it's 12 by 12 by 8. When you go onto the site to mail them, it does ask you for the size, so that's good to know. I do put something in the bottom. I don't like to sit the eggs right on the bottom, even though I have them wrapped. I save a lot of these bubble mailers that you get from Prime or any other packaging This one's really soft and cushy that I got something in. I put several layers on the bottom to make it nice and cushy on the bottom. That way they're protected on the bottom as well. And after wrapping the egg carton several times in bubble wrap, I don't have any handy to grab, but I would be putting at least 2 or 3 layers of bubble wrap around it. And again, I get it at the office store in a mixed thing that they unwrapped office chairs or whatever from it, and they put it in this big box. So it works out great for me. I make sure I put that in, again, right side up, pointy side down, in the box. A lot of times I'll go kind of corner to corner when I do it. That way there's a little extra room on each corner and it's not smack up against the sides. It leaves a little room for me to put more cushion beside it. So once I do that, I take air bubbles or cotton if I have extra cotton from something, or you can even use more of these bubble wraps. I take these and I stuff them all around the sides. I make sure a little bit goes at the end. You know, you can tear off most of these into like just 1 or 2 pieces. I put it at the ends of the carton, and I put more along the side, and I put more along the top till it is to the top. When I literally fold the sides down, you don't want it to sink down in. You want it to be straight across with no extra room for that box to move. It's got to be snug in there with cushioning on the bottom, cushioning on both sides and the corners. That way that box isn't going anywhere. And make sure the egg box is in there pointy side down with the, you know, the right side up. And then I tape it up. I keep one of these always filled with packing tape. I buy it on Amazon, super cheap. Tape the box, you know, both ways so that it's good and snug and tight and the tape's not coming off. I tape it both ways a couple times. And then I generally take a marker. Sorry, I had to get my marker. And I put, oh my God, excuse my cat. I put arrows on the box so that the Postal Service knows this side up. And you can buy labels with arrows on it and it says this side up. You can go on to the USPS website and you can get free boxes. If you go on to USPS.com, you can create an account. You can go in and you can order free. These are all free. I don't pay anything for the boxes. As long as you use them, you're supposed to use them to mail priority with the post office, and which is what I do. But you can get some labels on there, but be careful, because one of the labels that says something about fragile, use extreme care or something, I forget what it was called. They charge you $11 if you use one of them labels when you send a package, so you don't want to use those. But I just mark it this side up with an arrow so that, I just wrote that really quick. It's a little sloppy, so I apologize. But I do that on all 4 sides so that no matter which way it's seeing or sitting, somebody will see that. And then I go on to Pirate Ship. Pirate? Is that what it's called? I think it's called Pirate Ship. It is a mailing company that you can create an account with them and you can send packages cheaper than if you go on the USPS website. This box will generally cost anywhere, depending on how far you're sending it. I'm in Pennsylvania, so I'm on the East Coast, and I can send this to anybody on the East Coast, up in Maine down to Florida, for about $10. through USPS. If I go in the Midwest, it costs me about $12 to $14. And if I go all the way over to the West Coast, if I'm sending it to someone in Arizona, California, or whatever, it is like $18, sometimes even $20, $21, depending on where it's going. When I go on this pirate ship website, it is a couple dollars less, and they ship through USPS. It's a legitimate USPS shipping site. They just get discounts, and if you go create through them, it's nice because you have your own account, and you can see everybody that you sent to. And so if somebody comes back to you even a year later and says, can I buy more eggs from you, and you start to type in their name on this website in a create new label, and you start to type their name in, it'll automatically populate their address, which is really nice. And you can keep track of everybody in there. So you put the mailing label on top. I just print it off on regular paper. I don't get fancy labels. I print it off on regular white copy paper, and I tape it to the top with my handy dandy packing tape. And I just make sure it's taped good on all 4 sides. And then sometimes I buy the stickers that say fragile. I have some in here. You can get them on Amazon and eBay, and they're fairly cheap. They just say fragile. You can use those on the box. As long as you don't use the ones that come from USPS on their site, you're good. Those, like I said, they charge you extra. And I can show you which ones it is if you need to know, but I just wouldn't buy any on the USPS website. And that's it. So your eggs will stay pointy side down if you remember to write the arrow on here and put this side up. And you have them in pointy side down. They're going to stay in the way they're supposed to be. The problem that I got with most people shipping me eggs is they wrap the eggs in bubble wrap like this individually, and the bubble wrap makes it too thick to sit them in an egg carton, so they lay them sideways, and the box gets turned all different ways during, you know, shipping. They don't have it marked or whatever, and the eggs are scrambled until I get them. By putting them in this way, I know there is a chance that a postal worker still could toss your box, or, you know, turn it upside down. But most people, when they see that arrow, they're going to straighten it out, and for the most part, it's going to come the way it's supposed to. Hopefully this helps. It works great for me. I suggest buying a little food scale. It's just a cheap $10 food scale. Don't get any. I got one by mistake that was really tiny, and I didn't know it was that small, and it was hard to put the boxes on. They tipped off of it. So this one is about, I don't know, 6 or 8 inches. Either, it's probably about 6 inches by 6 or 6 by 7, the way it looks. Big enough for the box to sit on. You can sit it down, and you can weigh your box and see how much it weighs, because when you go to ship it, it's going to ask you the size and the weight. That's how it determines your price. So you're going to need to know that. So you'll need a scale. That's basically all you need. Most of this can be sent cheap. You know, you get the extra bubbles and packing material in any boxes that you get from Amazon. Just keep all of that, and pretty much that's it. Check around at local office stores. Ask them if you can buy their used packaging materials that they get, because even Office Depot and Staples puts together furniture, and they have it on display. I'm sure they have some extra stuff they would save for you if they don't already do that. And that way it keeps your costs down. And use the pirate ship website for sending the boxes, and it'll save you $2 to $3 on each one, and you should be good to go. All right, see you later.